Have you gotten out of the quarterbacks what you were hoping to get this week after sort of emphasizing the fundamentals and all that on Sunday?
Yeah, I think so. We were, again, short of practice, so for the 2.5 practices we had, it was better. I mean, it was the fundamental part was good. We threw well, saw the field well, but it's an ongoing process. I'm going to stay on them because our expectation for our guys, all the quarterbacks, is for them to be not good but great, and they have the talent to do that, so we'll keep working that.
What's your confidence level in Rhett and Donovan compared to Brandon and Khalil as far as they're operating the team in a game?
Yeah, for freshmen, they have a pretty good grasp about everything. Now, certainly they don't have the experience that Brandon does, and then even Khalil's been in the system a year longer, so they're going to be, that experience will help a little bit. But from a mental standpoint, as far as true freshmen go, they're as advanced mentally as any true freshman we've had.
Everyone kind of looked at the quarterbacks, but how much did a couple of the special teams plays impact the game against Houston?
Oh, the kickoff return was ridiculous. It should never happen. So that was embarrassing. Some of the, we had a miscue on a field goal. So we had a couple of mistakes. We had a couple of things that were good too, but some of the things that we have to correct in special teams have got to get fixed in a hurry, and we changed some things around, changed some personnel around to get that fixed.
Are there a couple things that you really like to see out of your team in this last out-of-conference game?
Well, just better execution. I think the effort is pretty good, but we could always play even harder, I think. And then obviously every game you play, you should cut down on your missed assignments. The last game was going to be tough in the beginning because of some of the new stuff they were going to see, but still, we should, every week, we got to do our job as coaches to cut down on our players' mental mistakes.
What about defensively? I know they obviously played really well in the second half, but is there something more that you'd like to see out of that group?
Yeah, I still think at some of our pressure stuff, we could be a little bit more aggressive. I think, playing the ball in the air, we were better at playing the ball in the air, but I still think, in particular in our zone coverage, we can do an even better job at that as well.
Along those lines, your thoughts on Fields and how he's played so far?
Yeah, he's an active guy, very athletic, loves football, plays really hard, and he's still a freshman. He got here and rolled early, which helped, but he's a pretty good player now. But man, he's going to be really good.
His size for that position is he's smallish, right?
Yeah, a little bit. He's not tall, but he's pretty strong for his age, and the exciting part for him and all those freshmen. You're talking about all those true freshmen are playing. We haven't had them all in a year in the weight room, so they're going to be pretty good players. They're pretty good players now, but man, they're going to be really good.
So speed and leverage is what he's
their athleticism. We got a lot of athleticism defensively. We're still undersized, but the freshmen, when they get bigger in the program, they'll give us a little size, and then certainly we're going to recruit some size because we're still a little bit undersized defensively.
Is there someone he reminds you of that you've coached before?
Who, Tony?
Yeah.
No, he reminds me a lot of DeAndre Miller. DeAndre's been hurt, unfortunately, for a lot of his career, but they're kind of the same body type. And DeAndre played a little bit as a freshman and then has gotten bigger and bigger. And when we get him back, that's a big plus. So they remind me kind of similar games.
So Dane's been at safety for about a month. How do you think he's performed?
Yeah, it's been good. Dane's a good football player. I think the nickel position is really good. He's a long, tough guy. He's a really good blitzer. And we want to utilize him more because he is a tough football player and he can create some negative yards plays.
So Lorenzo Burns obviously struggled a little bit in the first game and maybe even early against Houston, but it seemed like he gained a lot of confidence as the game went on. What have you seen out of him?
He should, and they got to play with confidence. The hardest position over on defense to play is corner. You're going to get challenged so much, and you got to play against some pretty talented quarterbacks and pretty talented wideouts. And once in a while they may get the best of you, but you got to keep competing, and that's the kind of mentality we have to have there.
So there's a lot of talk among the players this week about finishing drives, finishing blocks, maybe finishing games. Has that been a point of emphasis?
Yeah, particularly offensively, just the execution toward the end of the drives wasn't good. And then, I don't want to say we got outworked at the end of some plays offensively, but they made some tackles at the end of plays. We had guys initially, and then they beat them. So, yeah, there's no question we got to finish stronger.
Presuming that Brandon gets the start and he's still
he's going to start.
And he's still nicked up, what progress do you need to see?
He's not nicked up.
Okay.
So he's still going to start. He's not nicked up. I just want him to play good. And he's played well at times, but he can be really, really good. And that's our expectation for him.
So speaking of finishing plays or getting outworked, Nathan Eldridge was saying he learned a lot from playing against Ed Oliver in that regard. Is that kind of what you're talking about
continuing
to work throughout the whole play?
Ed's motor and his athleticism showed up, and we knew that coming in. I mean, he's got a great. He's a very good athlete, but he's got a great motor too, and he's in really good shape. They played him quite a bit, and he didn't take very many breaks, and he was playing from sideline to sideline. But we play just about every team we play is going to have people like that. So up front, our guys worked pretty hard up front, but they saw a pretty good front last week for sure.